I'm Allendale's Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Surface analysis right now doesn't show a lot of excitement across the middle of the country. As a matter of fact, the Corn Belt on the whole, looking at clear sky. We've got a cool front working its way through central southern parts of Iowa, getting ready to move into Illinois. This front does not hold much of a different air mass. It does shift the winds around a little bit, but honestly, this is one of those fronts that you see on the map, but you don't really feel as you're out and about. What we're looking at here is another push of warm air in across the region as we go through your weekend. As we move through Saturday and Sunday, most of the Corn Belt will be at or above normal, but things will be changing then as we go through next week. Precipitation from Sunday into early Monday will likely hit a good chunk of the Corn Belt. Could see it initiating already tomorrow night over extreme western parts of the Corn Belt, out of South Dakota coming into Minnesota and Iowa, and then tracking south and east. Best rainfall totals will be over the central and western part of the belt. A quarter to 3/4 of an inch is what I'm calling for region-wide. I will grant you a few stronger thunderstorms might be able to throw some 1-inch totals on a localized scale out west. Thing is, as this batch of moisture moves through the eastern Corn Belt Sunday night into early Monday morning, loses a lot of its punch, so not looking at a lot there, probably the lower end of the range. I like 60% coverage across the Corn Belt out of this first little cluster of precipitation. Now, as we go forward, next week does look to be much, much better for precipitation, and I throw this out there only because of the talk of flash drought that seems to be creeping up in people's minds. I'm looking at 1/2 to 2-inch rainfall totals out of one batch of moisture coming out of the Missouri Valley and moving across the Corn Belt Wednesday, Thursday, and then a second system dragging in behind that comes out of the upper Midwest and moves down into the mid-Mississippi Valley, could give another 1/2 to 1 inch. So all told, you got to look at about 80 to 90% of the Corn Belt from Wednesday through Friday of next week, picking up 1/2 to 2 inches of rain. Missouri might be able to do some double dipping, getting hit by both systems. So there's moisture coming. So concern about some of the dry areas out there probably will be alleviated. I will say this. If we make it to the end of next week, so next Friday, in the exact same position/condition that we're in right now, sure, I'll jump on the it's too dry bandwagon. But for right now, I think we've got moisture coming. And the other thing is, warm air is only in for this weekend. Next week, temperatures normal to below. The week following, we might actually be below normal over most of the Corn Belt, down in the mid-70s potentially. We'll have to see. But right now, we're not looking at excessive heat coming anytime soon. Even the temperatures that feel warm here today, tomorrow, Sunday, driven more by humidity than actual high air temperatures. Going longer term, the extended forecast period, I'm still trending drier. Models have flip-flopped a lot over whether we see a big system or whether we don't. I'm going to keep a system in around the 11th and 12th. I don't think it does any more than about 1/2 an inch. I'm not inclined to change this right now because models are just all over the place. Why change your forecast based on a willy-nilly model move? So we're going to kind of hold this through the weekend, see what next week brings, dragging us into maybe the 10-day forecast window there. But right now, as long as we see below normal temperatures, we think we're going to trend the forecast slightly drier. Not a lot of rain coming in the cooler air. That's the way things are stacking up. If you've got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.